somebody wants to kidnap me, all they need to do is just buy me food.
No, don't say those kind of things on camera. Maybe someone will try that. Action. Let's get started.
Let's
Today's-
talk about the moment. We're not starting this episode without actually talking about the moment. You were a TEDx speaker.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Right, but I don't think it's really sunk into me as to that really happened. It took me the entire time after I got back. It was still very surreal to me. It was still sinking in, and as the hours went by, it just kind of became like a kind of out of body experience, I would say.
But you looked so confident. You looked like, you belonged on that stage. You were so calm. You had no nerves. And
Yeah,
You-
like,
and I
that's
think
what
that
I was about
mainly
to say,
come to-
because I felt like I arrived. Even
Yeah.
when people asked me if I felt nervous the
Yeah.
previous day, I just kept telling that I feel like I was born to do this, And I think that was one of the reasons why I studied law,
Right.
because I loved articulating, I loved voicing my opinion. It had a different motive to it, but this particular moment, it arrived in front of me when I least expected it.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not going to lie, I always manifested this one for me, because I'm a person who puts those Pinterest boards where I put pin stuff, and there was this one particular pin which I had pinned up in August, September, as a woman in white talking in front of a big bunch of people. So when it happened, I was really humbled. When I was
Yeah.
asked to speak, I was really humbled. It was so surreal. I couldn't believe it. It took me a couple of days to
Right.
kind of process that it happened, and it happened because of my dear friend Regina, because it happened in JPR University. And I think that's one of the reasons why you should be surrounded by women who are truly invested in you too, invested in your winning. You don't need to meet for coffee. You don't need to, no, but they are invested in seeing you win.
Yeah.
Right? Because they know your story, they know the kind of person you are and stuff like that. And for me, this TEDx was everything.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I went on to the stage and I owned the stage. Like, to think I'm in a room full of these amazing people, and to know that one was like the chairperson of Zoho, and then there was this farm guru, and to see such really high achieving people in the society, but they are so enterprising. And I was a first time TEDx speaker. It was something phenomenal. It was so surreal. I owned that moment. There was no nerves. And I walked into the hall and they introduced me, got on that stage, and it was very calming.
Right.
Because I was there to speak my truth, right? So, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm coming to, From day one, I still remember the first day when you were, when you realized that you've gotten invited to be a TEDx speaker, and you didn't believe it because it was like a little ahead of 2 months. And then the
Yeah.
first time when you realized, okay, this is what I'm going to say, you broke down because the whole story that you wanted to say was
Yeah.
so heavy. So the heaviness of it was a little too much, but you carried it all so gracefully, And every time I used to be so amused that the story, the narrative that you told me the very first time lasted and was the same till the very end, no matter how many times you rehearsed, no matter how many times you said it out loud for the different, members of our family and all of that. And I was always like, oh, Anisha, so nice. You haven't forgotten anything. Like, you're saying it all in
because
perfect order.
it came from a very personal place, because I remember breaking down in that coffee shop in front of you, because what TEDx saw was the success story that came, but what happened for that success story was not easy. When you earn your place like that, when you go through your journey like that, and I think that's what I went on to the stage and spoke about, like raising 2 kids in the most uncertain times ever. So when I spoke about it and like, how am I going to pack this into something inspirational? Because here we are on this couch and we've changed the narrative, and we're setting the bar somewhere for the generations to come after us to start from a higher place, I feel. And to write it down, it was amazing. And I feel like I know I was born into this sense of confidence with storytelling, be it in school or like, the way we were brought up or in extempos, or we're very articulate about our emotions and stuff like that. And it was nothing new for us, but how is it built right now? You're born into a certain sense of nurturing, and then you're growing up in that environment and you go out in the world and the world hardens you. But when something like that traumatic happens to you, and then something so rewarding like TEDx, like a stage where you're given to speak, that's a sense of responsibility also.
Yeah.
Because you're telling your story to inspire generations to come.
Right.
Like women who are listening to you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right,
I
what
wasn't
about to
done.
say?
So what I was saying is,
I'm so used to
Thank
always
you.
cutting you.
Yes,
please. You don't have to be
please.
so serious about it, like as it's happening for the first time.
yeah, but still you're not learning. This is a monologue. Go on.
Go on, tell me.
Yeah, so for me to get out of the car and see you standing there, it was such a big moment because, it's a life-size standee. And then it was so nice to see you and your photo along with so many other honorary people, who
Yeah.
are really big change makers. And that's what you are. I think you are a change maker in your own right because you've literally changed the way somebody perceives someone a difficult story or a challenge, and you've literally
100%.
risen above that. Thank you. Acknowledged.
100%. Yeah. You can be weird. You can be all the weird that you want to be. I do not care for it. But
I'm
then,
not
like,
being weird. I'm just saying, let me finish what I'm saying. Like I always say, I think that is because you have always led with your own light, and it is so nice to see you. Every time I used to keep saying, hey, Anusha, I know it's hard, but it's going to be worth the view after this difficult climb, and that's what it is.
even the fact that I owned the stage and I was there and speaking my story because I believed in my journey.
Yeah.
It was not something that you read on Instagram and just post it or like Pinterest and just post it. I aligned with my truth and I lived my life in a way in so much noise. And it was not easy finding your center and finding your core values amidst all that noise,
Right.
And I knew I was meant to do that. It didn't feel like, oh my God, like, how is this happening to me? I had a story to inspire generations to come. The fact that it was not even that I got to speak, the fact that today I was allowed to speak on a stage like that.
Yeah.
Right? It was not even the applause or the recognition. It was the very fact that you get to do it on a stage and speak your story in today's times. Now that was historical for me.
Yeah.
Because back in the time, like, I don't think I could have imagined this generations ago, right? Today,
right.
we don't need to shrink.
Yeah.
Today, we are here, a story of resilience
Yeah.
and choosing yourself and finding your identity in times like this.
Yeah.
Has space,
Yeah.
not even just space, has a stage.
Yeah.
That was surreal for me. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, aren't
Yeah.
we? Because we are going to celebrate
Yeah.
womanhood, but we
Yeah.
are also going to tip our hat off to the luxury of being a woman in today's
world.
time.
Because to be honest, I think it is a luxury to be a woman in today's world.
Yeah.
No matter the challenges that have come with it, no matter
Of
the
course.
shades that it has.
And I don't think challenges will ever go away.
100%.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've grown far more stronger and we've really discovered what it feels like to own everything in our own power and might.
Exactly.
And kind of, walk faster, walk ahead, and walk with pride that, hey, I am a woman and times are difficult, but nobody can handle this like I can.
Exactly. The
And I
narrative has
think-
changed. The
yeah.
possibility is there.
Yeah.
And it is also a realization that freedom or anything like that is not really one. You
Yeah.
know, you earn it and you change the narrative, and with every generation, it evolves and becomes a different kind of a narrative. And
Definitely.
today, in times that we are in, doing this
Yeah.
here on the couch,
Yeah.
I think it's a huge realization for us,
Yeah.
right? Because can you ever imagine Archie or Amama sitting on, like, standing in TEDx and telling their story?
First of all, TEDx, it began in 1984, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it did not have any women
Exactly.
speakers at all. So
Exactly.
it wouldn't have been possible
Yeah.
for them to stand on the TEDx.
So can you imagine that? You really
Yeah.
cannot. There is
Yeah.
so much that has changed from then to
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I feel like back then they had to survive.
Yeah.
And I feel like now we're not discovering ourselves, we've discovered ourselves and we
Yeah.
are literally standing in our own power, light and might.
Yeah,
I think-
because back then they still were powerful,
Yeah.
Dave. I feel our grandmothers survived, our moms found the balance,
Yeah.
and we are optimizing right now.
Yeah.
We're not even finding the balance. It's not even work-life balance anymore. It's integration.
They were really powerful back then, but I think they had
Privately.
arenas. Sorry?
Privately, they
Yeah,
were
they had
powerful.
arenas where they were powerful. It's not like, they were all out powerful, and it was not like they had, they could be independent.
Yeah,
right?
100%. So that's the thing, right? They were matriarchs.
Yeah.
They decided how a household runs.
Exactly.
They decide, I'm sure, when I look at Daya's grandmom, imagine the kind of people that she'd rubbed shoulders with.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she ran a tight ship, because back then politics was also very tight. They were almost like relatives and family friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they managed households. They managed finance in the household. They kept relationships in the family alive. Like, be it our grandmom, I'm sure our grandmoms would show up for weddings and have a say in who, what, and how a function happens, or anything that happens in the family. It's all done by them, but it was all done very privately. They did make financial decisions where to, put the money in, or, anjarpetikulla vechirundanga nenikiren.
Maybe.
Right? 100%,
Amazing.
right? But
Yeah.
still, they did do these financial decisions. They ran a household and stuff like that, but that was all very private.
Yeah.
But we are now doing it very publicly. Right?
100%.
We are owning our voice very publicly.
Yeah.
And the structure as such has changed from then to now.
Yeah, I feel like back then they also were okay with being uncomfortable and, gritting
Yeah.
through whatever made
They
them
put up.
uncomfortable. Yeah, they put up. But right now we know that, hey, I don't want to put up.
Yeah.
I don't need to put up.
Yeah. But
and
that's,
I decide how I want to live my life.
Yeah.
And I think that what we have that they did not is the power of choice, the power of choosing.
Yeah,
the
those are
luxury of choice. Yeah.
Exactly. We had the luxury of choice. We had the luxury.
We have.
Yeah, we have the luxury of choice, and the luxury of financial independence.
Yes.
The luxury to
having a
access
voice.
exactly who I was in TEDx.
Yeah.
It was a voice. But although we will have those people, who will, although today's generation, I'm not saying, oh, we have it, it's also luxurious and glamorous. I had to deal with people who told me, oh, why can't she just sit at home and aid in abet to not enabling, but what am I really teaching my children? But then this is the moment when I realize there are women
Yeah.
who clap for me, who think I'm doing something historical by finding a career. That's a choice. I had access to choose, right? People might be thinking, oh, why does she have to do it? It's not like they don't have a backup or anything. I am doing this for my children. The thing that my son should learn is that mom will have emotions. Mom is going to cry. There is this one parent who did not show up entirely. All of a sudden, one fine day, it was all upped and taken away from them. But mom is going to hustle. Mom is going to give us that emotional stability. Mom is going to teach us to hustle. Life doesn't end right here. Comfort is not something we're going to back up on. We are going to find our voice. We are going to find who we are. That's what I'm teaching my children.
And it's such a sad reality, right? That society makes you feel like you should shrink because you really didn't shrink at all. You are a human being, and I feel like you should do whatever you want to. And that kind of a mindset, that kind of an expectation, or this really heavy blanket from the society itself, even made you think right before we started, okay, do we really need to do this? Because times were
100%,
difficult.
yeah.
And then, we decided, I always kept telling you, you have to do it now more than ever, because this does not mean that, you do not care for your situation any less.
Exactly. You have women
Exactly.
to remind you your power.
Yeah.
Thanks to
And
you. And thanks to the community that holds me. And I'm so grateful for the women who actually have held me and reminded me. I think this is what today's world has changed to,
Yeah.
right?
I don't think anybody claps for women as hard as women do.
100%. I'm with you on that.
And when there is that kind of bond, when there is that kind of, a community that you build,
Yeah,
you are unstoppable.
100%.
Because that kind of a safe space where there's no competition, no jealousy, and just, hey, I just want to see you win. I just want you to do good for yourself. And I think when you do good for yourself, I'm happy seeing you be happy. That
Yeah.
kind of an environment is all it takes
Yeah, to
for us
thrive.
women to feel like it is a luxury to be a woman in today's world.
100%, yes.
Because if anything, when we talk about our challenges, the first one who agrees is another woman.
Yeah.
And like I said, the choice to just say, hey, this is who I am. And it might be uncomfortable for a few, but that
Yeah.
does not mean that I'm going to do anything differently. I am going to choose what I want to do. I am going to be who I want to be.
Yeah.
And even, for example, choosing whatever career you want to, choose. And I'm sure
And that's what
back
we've
then,
done here. And we
Exactly.
have women to look up to. right?
Yeah.
We've had some
We are raised by
phenomenally
strong
women, and we had
Our
some.
mom is somebody who's always like, every time we push the envelope, she's the first person who says, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
These are the dreams that I had for you. And
Yeah.
these are the things that I always saw you doing. And I'm
Yeah.
so happy to see that you're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm really happy for you girls. Even this morning, she had to run all the way to the door just to like say bye to us.
Yeah.
Because we were going to shoot. And I feel like that's what you need to lean into.
100%. But that's the support you get from home, right? From
Yeah.
family, because you feel the safest in family. And when you're raised by strong women and when you rub shoulders with strong women,
Yes.
we've had some amazing personalities on this couch who faced all kinds of adversities, right?
Right.
And to choose what kind of career path you want. And
However
I think
unconventional that
might be exactly whether you choose to be married or you
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Whether-
Even with career, like I think when I decided to choose Viscom, you convinced parents, you were like, even though it's not like they were against it, but they were a bit skeptical because it was a relatively new concept back then.
Yeah.
And they never said, okay, is this okay for a girl? They were like, yeah, do it. If you want to be in the films, go do it.
Yeah.
Although they might have been worried about my safety or about
And the
driving
person
back
who
home.
said do it was dad.
Exactly,
There's
dad.
nothing more attractive than a man who's a feminist.
Yeah, exactly. And I think all girl dads know how powerful
Yeah,
women are because
yeah.
they're truly raising warriors at
Yeah.
home. They're not raising just princesses, they're raising princesses that can slay dragons, right? And dad was always like a little worried, of course, about me coming back.
Kalvettu moment. Unur mora. Princess who can slay dragons, damn straight girl.
Right? Dad was always worried because I know when I used to walk in home at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, I'd find him, sleeping on the couch because he'd be like, okay, when is she going to get home? But that worry or that fear of my safety never stopped him or never made him say, hey, is this really what you want to do? Do you really want to work in films?
Yeah.
Are you really going to come back home only after we sleep and leave before we wake up? That never happened. And even now, I think I'm truly grateful for the support that I'm getting from our parents who are from a whole different generation who have to face conversations from so many others of their age probably about as to why I'm not married yet.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've ever made me feel bad for not being married yet because they know that, hey, okay, that is your choice. This is something that should make you happy, not just us happy. So on your own time, whenever you want to. And that pressure has never brought me down. I've never felt that pressure. And I think not just for me, there are so many women, so many of my friends my age are still not married. And I don't think they ever feel like there's a void or they don't feel like there's something breathing down their neck. Because women today know that timeline doesn't matter at all.
Of course, there's like
It's
the
all
entire
about-
narrative. That's like exactly what I'm trying to tell. The structural changes happen
Exactly.
from then to now.
Yeah.
The choice that women have, the n number of choices that women have, be it in career,
Yeah.
be it like to choose whether you want to be a mom or you don't want to be a mom, whether
Yeah.
you want marriage or you don't want marriage. Like
Yeah.
that, it's all changed right now.
Yeah.
Even with financial independence, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's not like you can. I'm sure grandmoms had financial I wouldn't say independence or autonomy or anything like that because they were given a chunk of money to manage a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? Expenses and stuff like that. But today we want the choice of being financially independent. And
Right.
it is not like financial independence means in a marriage or in a relationship or generally it means, hey, I don't need you. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
that. In a marriage, it just means I am financially independent, but I'm here because I choose you. That's
Yeah.
also a choice, right? I
Exactly.
choose to be here.
Yeah.
Just because I'm financially independent, that doesn't mean
Yeah.
I'm going to just up and leave.
Exactly.
It means I am enabled, and there's
Yeah.
something I'm teaching my children too.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something they look for in their partners too, right?
Exactly.
Not to be solely dependent on them. This is
Yeah.
not a power play or anything like that. This is just mere choices. It's not
Yeah.
so deep. It's
Yeah.
about me.
Yeah.
It's about the choices that I have, right? So I think the way the structure has changed with choices of financial independence or even articulating our emotions. Back then,
Yeah.
they kept it in. But now we have terms for it. I have the space to say to somebody, I feel triggered by that.
Yeah.
Like, this is not aligning with me. I do not want to do it, right? Nobody is forced to like feel emotions anymore. We are articulating it right now. And I don't feel like I want to do this anymore because we are paying attention to how we feel. And that is another huge luxury that we have.
I think it all comes down to the awareness that we have developed, like
Yeah.
you said. It's the awareness of having the choice
Yeah.
to make a decision. The ability for a woman or the way in which a woman can actually say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Back then, they really couldn't.
Yeah.
And if somebody said that, what happened?
I'm so sorry, but I was just in my head thinking, imagine walking up to Archie and then telling, I feel so burnt out today. No, and then I was just thinking how she'd probably react. But yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, no, but that is the thing, right? Like, it is not something that we were used to, and now we have so much of vocabulary for how we feel and how
Yeah.
we go about in the society, and those are all things which are a luxury right now,
Yeah.
which are a possibility right now.
Yeah.
Like, we have created this space for ourselves to be.
Right.
So that is amazing, and that needs to be acknowledged,
It
right?
needs to
And
be acknowledged, it needs to be appreciated, because
Yeah.
today we are in a place where we can make choices,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that it's easy. It's difficult, and yet we're making them, which is exactly why it should be celebrated.
yeah, for sure.
So, but I think, sometimes do you ever realize, like, do you realize what a big luxury that actually is?
I do agree with it. We are reveling in it, don't
Yeah.
doubt about it. But also, self awareness comes with a certain sense of heaviness, also. And that's what is beautiful about us. We are willing to do that work, carry all of that, and still show up impeccably, because I think that is the most beautiful part that we are celebrating in this particular segment, I feel. When I did therapy, that's when the real change happened. Everything and everybody kind of fell out of my spectrum. I felt like everything is wrong. This is not how it's supposed to be, because you're hitting this entire reset button in your system, physically, mentally. Physically, when you choose to show up in meditation or breath work, or just sitting with your thoughts and aligning with your thoughts, right? And it was a little heavy for me at that time, because nobody made sense anymore. So that growth happened for me the first time I went into holistic therapy through, when you really go to a therapist's office and sit there, which happened for me after this whole episode, which I felt I owed it to myself.
Needed it.
Yeah, I was going to be the pillar, and I'm going to raise these tiny two beautiful humans who are going to go and impact. I wanted to raise them there, because I had this idea of how, me and Daya had this idea of how we should raise our kids. And then when one strong pillar is missing suddenly, so how do you actually show up? And you can't show up for yourself. How are you going to show up for those two tiny kids, right? When I did therapy, it was so heavy. That peeling of layers makes you feel so vulnerable, right? Like,
What made it so vulnerable, though? Was it the understanding of your emotions and why you feel the way you feel, or what about it was so heavy?
see, first there is this understanding of who you are and the fact that you've let yourself down.
Right.
Right? In so many instances, I'm sure women all over can relate to it, because although we are the modern women, having those moments of self-doubt and and the very fact that you've been brought up with certain ideology and you have forgotten all about it, because there's a bigger picture, but there is so many other elements that build that bigger picture. There are so many other elements that are going to become an integral part of this life because you are doing this life. I had the ability to power through it, but I didn't just power through it. I did cry about it too. That's what therapy was. And then that was heavy. That realization of letting yourself down is heavy. And when people do not, because we still have those archaic ways.
For sure.
We are still changing the narrative. That is what is this luxury is all about, because we have been given the space to change it,
I agree.
right? Because I think that's what it was for me, but
I think women forget how they, this line, okay, would your younger self be proud of you? And if your younger self is proud of you, then you've done something right in your life. I
Yeah.
always wondered what that meant, because I'm like, okay, not just my younger self, every other version of me is probably proud of me
Yeah.
now. But on a larger, spectrum, I feel like that resonates with a lot of people, because when you are young, your intentions and what you want out of life and who you want to be when you grow up, it's so pure. You're so sure of how you
Yeah.
see yourself. But then as you grow, with age, with society, with everybody else, and so many other voices kind of telling you what you should do, who you should be, and how you should live your life, I think you kind of forget.
Yeah.
And you let go or lose your sense of self.
Yeah.
Until one day you sit down and realize, oh, okay, is my younger self proud of me? And that's when you probably feel lost.
Yeah.
And that I feel is because society is constantly telling you how to live your life.
Yeah.
And we women are always told that there are so many other roles that you need to fulfill, so many other people or so many other, personalities you need to be
Yeah.
for others,
Yeah.
a lot more than just yourself.
Yeah.
And we lose track of, who we wanted to be.
Yeah.
But in today's times, we women, okay, us and a lot of others are really showing and realizing that you don't have to be just one spectrum. You don't have to be just one person. And
Yeah.
you can really achieve a lot of things. You can dream big, not just dream big, but you can achieve them all. You
Yeah.
can live out all of your dreams because there's no limit to ambition.
Yeah.
Not just ambition at home, right? Back then, mom, I think
Yeah.
we've grown up watching mom be this amazing boss woman at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even when she came home, she'd never be tired.
Yeah.
She'd be this amazing mom, wife, and everything else. Even aunt, when all our cousins used to come
Yeah.
and plunk themselves, they used to bunk with us for days
Yeah.
on end, and she used to be so amazing. And I think that's what we are also being. Women these
Yeah.
days are a lot more of us are being that person.
Yeah.
You know, who are living out their truth and being it all, not just doing it all, but being it all, doing it all, and having it all.
Yeah.
And I've had some phenomenal women that I've seen at work forever. When I go for shoots, there's this one team that is an all-woman team, and they're the most fun team for me to shoot with, at Tulsi, because it's all women and they are all so creative. And even in the middle of the night when I'm shopping, right? I'm not shopping, but I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to shop. And 8 out of 10 brands that I stumble upon on Instagram are women-founded brands.
Yeah.
Because we women really know what we want.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And we're doing some phenomenal things in today's era, and we're
Yeah.
really discovering so many sides and slices to our lives.
Yeah, of course, because I feel like right now we are allowed to have an ambition without an apology.
100%.
Right? Because I am not apologizing to anybody for sitting on this couch and pursuing a unconventional path of career, or like showing up at TEDx. Back then, women were invited to sit.
Yeah.
Today, women are invited to speak. You know, and like it is the most historical thing that
Yeah.
has happened to our generation of women. I feel
Yeah.
like even back then, it's like. Mom did have ambitions, but society did cage her, right? Like by saying she cleared all the levels of IAS exam, and in her final interview, she was literally told, you cannot go for this because we can't find a man to marry you because you're super educated.
You're super brilliant.
You're super brilliant, right?
Yeah.
And so she had to let go of that till date she talks about it to us.
Yeah. She also wanted to be a doctor.
Doctor,
apparently.
right? But
Can
then
you
look at
imagine
that.
mom as a doctor.
I can actually, I quite can, because that woman, that's what she's instilled in us. Because back then, her mom, who was an educated person, her dad was a super educated, self-made couple who built everything from scratch for themselves, and they lobbied in high political places. And like, to think that their daughter would be told, ஏற்கனவே நீ சென்னையில இருக்க, உனக்கு மாப்பிள்ளை கிடைக்க மாட்டேங்குது, இவ்வளோ படிச்சிருக்க, 30 வயசு ஆப்போகுது, right? And for her to
20
raise,
or something. 20,
she got married when she was 30. Yeah.
I was thinking 29.
Because I
But
remember
yeah.
that dialogue, because when I decided to get married at 22, she said, I can't believe you're getting married at 22. I got married at 30. Why do you
Right.
think you'd want to get married? Take it from me. So do you see, for
Yeah.
a woman like that, and she created the space for you right now where she
Yeah.
doesn't demand marriage or expectations from you.
Of course.
And with everything that has happened in my life and
Yeah.
that has happened in our life collectively, because they are my support system, not once has that woman or our dad has sat down and scrutinized our choices.
Ever.
Like, or our choices
I'm
in
so lucky
parenting.
that we got our parents to
Parents,
be our
right?
parents.
Like,
Yeah.
they had never once. This morning, she was like, you girls are going to go do well. And even when it was so late last night, it was 12 o'clock, and she's like, I think you guys should go and prep for your podcast
Yeah.
episode.
I was like, you
She
guys-
is
those are gonna be
changing the
amazing.
narrative. She is trying to leave the place a little better so that generations behind her can, like, be better. And we are here because of women like her and so many other women who are clapping for us from the sidelines, right?
100%.
Who are like, so ambitious, and they see, hey, I see you, I see your hustle, I see your 2 little boys.
Yeah.
I'm not passing judgment. I want you to win. I
Yeah.
am invested in this, although they don't get anything out of it other than the
Absolutely.
collective energy and the collective win for all of us as women, right?
True.
Like, we are here setting the bar a little bit higher than where
Higher.
our mom has set, so
For
that
sure.
the generations that come behind us can start at a better place.
100%.
I think that is historical.
Yeah. All it takes is one woman to
Yeah.
really understand womanhood and how brightly we can
Exactly.
shine. And not
Exactly.
just that, another woman to actually see her in her shining best as well. With every generation, we are becoming more aware of how powerful it is to be a woman, and as
That's
powerful
exactly
as it is.
that's something that I want to take this conversation into. That's
Yeah.
why I opened that out. But
Yeah.
amazing what women can bring to the table. So
Yeah.
that brings me, like, since you worked in movies, I want to know how it was for you to be a woman in a.
Yeah.
Can I go ahead and say in an all-men set? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. Because obviously there's the stylist team; they are all women. But then,
Yeah, but like the director's team, which is like, you know, the A team, right?
Tell me more. Tell me more. I'm all ears. Because how is the culture? I want to pick your brain. How has the culture changed
Yeah.
in movies and industry?
I'm sure there were women in certain teams back then as well in the films, but right now I feel like the number of women in the film industry itself has increased a lot. And I think, you know, for me, I never felt like a woman, although every day when I used to walk in the office also, it was just me.
Okay, but before that, I want to cut in because we're going and working in the movie industry made you an adult.
Yeah, it
Right?
did.
But going into the industry as a woman, and what kind of adulting did it bring about? Because that was the biggest shift in your
Yeah.
character trait.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I feel you went in as a
girl,
baby.
as a baby.
No, you
Yeah.
really went in as a baby, not even as a girl.
Yeah.
Rave. You were like literally, your name is saved as Rave Papa in my phone
Yeah.
even now. Like you
Yeah.
went in as a baby and you
Yeah.
were the baby.
Yeah.
Right? But then you came out as this. So tell me
Because
a little bit
every
about
day-
that.
Yeah, so working in the films, like my team was a team of 13.
Yeah.
And I was the only girl. And we used to have like really long work hours, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
I
used
know
to be
about it.
there for breakfast and I'd come really late and everything. And to be in an environment where it's just all men,
Uh-huh.
it's not just like, you know, the fact that you are the odd man out. It's about how, you know, you sometimes feel like I sometimes really used to miss having another girl. You know,
Really?
at work, yeah.
Okay.
It was a great team to work with. Of course, this is not even about the learning or the, you know, kind of knowledge that was passed on or that I was lucky enough to learn and, you know, get and all of that, the hands-on experience, the amazing film I worked on and like the team. It's not even about the brilliance of any of that. It's just the, you know, some days I'd be like, oh, I wish I had a girl. I wish I had a girl to talk to because there are so many things that you could
Yeah,
only share with
yeah.
the girl. There is a sense of comfort in sisterhood, like womanhood. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say sisterhood as such, but like just the comfort of having another woman in your
Yeah,
office
of
space.
course.
Because sometimes there'd be these comments, so there'd be these things that are said that probably men just say thinking it's harmless,
Yeah.
but it might not be harmless.
Yeah. Of course.
Even like a small comment about the dress you're wearing, it might be, they might not have put so much thought into it.
Yeah.
But then it'd just be playing in my head the whole day,
Right.
you know? And that was just during, those were the pre-production days when you just had to go to office.
Yeah.
But then shoot is a whole other zoo.
That's
Because
what I wanted to know
It's like
more
hundreds
about.
of people and then you
Yeah.
have night shoot. And I think by the time I got to shooting and all of that, I kind of forgot that I'm a girl. I kind of forgot that I'm a woman.
Tell me about it because you used to go in
I
these
probably
baggy
didn't look
clothes.
like one. I cut my hair short.
Sure. Yeah, I was just about to say that, and your hair is so curly, and you cut it till your ear, and I was like, "What is going on?"
I was not a
Ray?
sight to look at. I didn't have the time to wash my hair, so I had to cut my
Please,
hair
Ray,
short.
you look like a badass. Like, I'm going to find those pictures with you and Vijay sir and like Atli and
Yeah.
all of them, and with this whole corn braids and all of
Oh,
that.
the convent.
Please,
So,
she
everybody-
is underselling herself, and I'm going to be the woman who hides her. Right?
So by the time, yeah, I know.
No, you were such a badass. No, Ray, because
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
See, this is your journey, but I
Yeah.
didn't know the soft side. See, that's
Yeah.
the thing, right? Like,
I think that happened because by the time we went for shoot and everything, I kind of forgot that I'm a woman. So I never felt like one. I never felt like an odd man out at the sets. Of
Yeah.
course, that'd be like the costume designers team who come and go, and that'd be, you know, and that'd be dance assistants and all of that once in a while. But I never felt like, hey, I'm a woman and I need perks because at least sir never treated me like, hey, you're a woman, so okay, you don't have to do this, or yeah, you can leave early. None of that happened, you know.
those build us, I think.
Exactly.
Men
and I'm
like
so
that help
grateful.
us build
Yeah,
ourselves. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that he didn't see me any differently
Yeah.
or didn't feel like I should be pampered or he
Yeah.
didn't feel the need to cut me some slack.
Yeah.
Because that really toughened me. And to answer your question, and I think that's where that's what I'd probably think of, or that's what I'd be thankful for because
Yeah.
nobody else saw me differently. Nobody else saw me as a woman and felt like, okay, I deserve to be, you know, given a longer rope or like
Yeah.
cut some slack. They were like, okay, you're a woman, and I was more was expected from me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I did not feel the burden of that. I
Yeah.
felt the honor of it rather.
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, I have to do a lot better. I have
Yeah.
to bring more to the table, and I have to really, just show up and never lack anywhere. And I think that made me feel really honored, humbled, and more powerful than ever before.
Every strong woman has to have a strong back.
100%, because we're carrying the weight of the world. So we have chronic back pain.
Right, but also you're PMSing. But that's
Yeah.
another thing, right? We have awareness to understand our body and emotions and stuff
Yeah.
like that. My God, that's crazy.
And the
Back
topic
then,
is not a taboo anymore.
yeah,
Right?
that's true.
Like
that's
nobody
true.
really shies away from talking about it. You don't
Yeah.
think, or no man feels uncomfortable, I should hope. when,
Yeah, I don't think
this
so. I
conversation-
think that
yeah.
kind of changed back in when we were in school itself, I
Yeah.
feel. But like there are some people
Yeah.
who are uncomfortable. But there is like we understand our emotions. Back then they used to call it like, oh, she's just moody.
Yeah.
But now we say I'm PMSing, I'm in
Yeah.
my luteal phase. We understand our postpartum, we are researching it.
Yeah.
That's access, and we
Yeah,
have
men
digital.
are becoming aware of it too. Like if
Yeah.
I'm like a little snappy or cranky, then the first question I get asked is from my boyfriend. It's like, are you like gonna get your chums? Are you PMSing? And even you, like we know. We'd be like, okay, tread carefully, tread carefully.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Like
that's
just
true.
don't say anything.
Yeah, yeah. Or buy her food.
Yeah,
Like, you
yeah,
know,
buy her food, get her
right?
ice cream. Like we know how to like show up for each
Yeah.
other, but the fact that it's become globally, it's
Mm-hmm.
not a topic that is hush hush anymore. I think
Yeah.
that's a big win for us.
Yeah, yeah. We have so much of understanding about us.
Yeah.
We know who we are and we've researched it even before we've arrived. And I think
Yeah.
that's the kind of freedom we are in right now. And that brings me to a rapid fire. Do you have any top women that you look up to? Your top 5 women or top 3 women you look up to?
I like people who make bold moves and
Mm-hmm.
women who make bold moves. I think it's much bolder when anything
Yeah.
comes from a woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Women I look up to, I think it starts from my house. It
Yeah,
starts
it's
from
mom.
you. It starts from mom. I think I have 2 really amazing women to look up to. I'm not even like going to lie, and I'm not even saying this for the optics or the theatrics of it.
I know, Rev.
I
you
don't
say that
ever when
yeah.
somebody says, "Hey, who's the one woman you look up to?" Even now, when you ask me, I was like, "Oh, such a weird question." Because yeah, I admire people, but do I look up to them? Have I ever seen a woman outside my house and felt like, "Hey, I want to be like her, like her, like her,
lunchtime.
like her,"
Yeah.
right? And I think I'm even I've never wanted to be like someone else, but I've always wanted to be at least a little bit of what you and mom are, because you women have
Right.
been like so.
I love you so much. You
strong.
always say that. You always say that.
And
that's the biggest compliment ever because
Yeah.
you are a phenomenal girl, Rave. Like to say that you want to be like me because you
Yeah.
are a soft girl all the time. But I come across as this really strong-headed person, but I cry so much.
Yeah.
And I am really soft, and that's a privilege to be soft too. I think that's a luxury to be soft
100%.
too. But your softness is a different kind of softness. It's very quiet, it's very calm,
Yeah.
it's very grounded, it's very muted. And
Yeah.
I aim to be like that. And I think I wrote that in my journal this year that I
No
want to have the sense of calm like
way.
Rave. Because calm is a superpower. Because going on that TEDx stage, I didn't feel my
Yeah.
nerves, I didn't feel
You
anything.
were so calm and collected.
Yeah, because calm felt powerful.
Yeah.
And I channeled
And it
into
really
you.
is.
Right.
I love you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So being soft is a luxury too.
Yeah,
Ray.
I think
so to
so.
say that you look up to me, I think it's an
Yeah.
honor.
Yeah.
Something
Okay,
that
apart
is
from
it.
you and mom, because that's like a said, like,
Yeah.
no brainer, and that's
yep,
the first
yep,
thing.
Yep.
I think one, Amma, because she was such a cool cat, right?
Uh-huh.
Like back in the day, first of all, she left her house for love, and then she got married, and then she came to a whole different
Do you remember
city.
something that she said that stuck with you?
I remember just her being this person who had her girlfriends, and she used to go for movies all the damn time.
Damn, she was so cool. She used
Right?
to drive and like, yeah,
Yeah.
man, she was one cool cat.
Yeah, so
She
that
had
would
a
be
girl
one.
gang back then itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She used to go watch these movies. Maybe that's why I'm this person.
Yeah, and
You know?
all, no, okay, but also she did like raise kids back then in 19. Mom was born in 1958.
Yeah.
These were like really smart short
Pinafores,
pinafores.
yeah.
Like man, that girl changed the narrative
the
back
girl
then
was such a
itself.
cool cat.
And then-
yeah. What about you? We'll do like back and forth.
Back and
You.
forth. I think for me it's Jayalalitha.
Yeah.
I always admired her, and there's something that she said, like it's always challenges that make talent.
Yeah.
That always stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I think she's pretty phenomenal because the whole world was against her.
Yeah.
Like, in a sense, the opposite sex, the entire sex was behind her. We've all seen that circulated video. We've all seen it. But then,
First they were against her and then they had to fall at her feet. So what do you mean?
yeah, well, that's what you get.
Exactly.
Like, you know, don't ever scorn a woman.
There's this really amazing interview of hers, right? That keeps showing up.
Oh,
and
yeah, I know what
Simi
you're talking
Grewal.
about. No,
Yeah.
not Simi Grewal. And there's one for like CNN, I think. I don't know. That was like phenomenal.
So good.
Like, so good. I think I
Yeah.
really look up to her. You?
Yeah. I think Manorama. Because she was such a trailblazer, you know.
Yeah.
She was not just a successful woman in the films who really
Yeah.
knew how to, you know, show the men how it's done, but she had this amazing
She's
sense
a
of humor.
female comedian.
Yeah, she's a female
Yeah.
comedian and she really was the
Trailblazer
best.
indeed. Yeah.
And
yeah.
I've heard, of course, that, you know, she's a really good human too.
Yeah. I've heard that a lot from
Yeah.
all our people in the industry and who worked before,
Yeah.
like in the generations before and all of that. Yeah, that's a good
so
one.
I
Yeah.
like Manorama. Yeah, next
look at you,
go.
girl.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. For me, it was, I think, Princess Diana also.
Hmm.
I've always looked up to her because there's this sense where she never wanted to follow rules. And she always used to say that her two boys, she wants to raise two boys who knows other people's insecurities and emotions and distress and know about their dreams and their hopes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I want that for my boys
Yeah.
because I am raising sons
Yeah.
where they will change the narrative for women or help and aid and abet change the narrative for women. I think that's my bit to doing, contributing
society.
to change the structure. So I think I look up to her. And also there's this one thing that she actually says, like, every strong woman has always had to walk the same path. Like, you know, I think it's the strength that confuses and causes fear in people because they're always wondering, first, where does she get this strength from? Why is she doing it? Where is she taking the strength to and what is she going to do with it? I think that sticks. I think I really look up to her. You go now.
I really like her too. I like her for being such a fashionista more than
Oh
anything
my
else.
God, an
I love
icon,
her
girl.
fits. Yeah.
An icon.
I love her fits.
I think she
and-
was a rebel and still she was
Yeah.
soft. I think that's what we need to talk about
Yeah.
next. But yeah.
I think the last person, the Akka who works on, you know, who's cleaning our streets, the community helper, who we always see
say
every
hi
morning.
to
and
every
say hi to.
morning, yeah.
You know why I really like her? Because no matter the weather she's there,
Yeah.
no matter what, she has
Yeah.
this big smile on her
Yeah.
face. Like first thing in the morning at 12, like when it's probably the hottest time of the day,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
she is never not smiling.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I'm, you know, I'd be like just leaving for work and that'd be my motivation.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, hey, be happy.
Yeah.
Today is such a gift. So
Yeah.
be happy. And
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I really
sure.
look up to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. She's
But your
beautiful.
third person.
Okay, third person and last person for me, I think I look up to every woman who cheers for another woman. I think I look up to every woman who helps and aids and abets to another woman's growth, who's invested in other women's growth without an agenda, without
Yeah.
any returns, and is just there to clap,
Yeah.
is there to tell, hey, go on, like, you know, you've got this, right? To
Right.
inspire another soul without an agenda. I think I've been blessed to know some women like that in my life. I'm surrounded by women like that in my life.
So there are so many people like who just follow us, who just follow our pod and who just randomly write to us and say, I'm
Yes.
so happy you girls are doing
Yeah.
this. I'm so happy you girls are
And
like, you know.
everywhere we go, it's
Yeah.
women who come up to us, and those are the kind of women that I look up to. So
Yeah.
that's keeping it short, like, you
Yeah.
know, who actually appreciate it without any agenda. It'll be some so-and-so, somebody big, somebody with a profile, but then they'll be like, hey, I saw your podcast without ego, without anything.
Yeah.
I think that's magical, that's
is.
monumental, and that's historical.
It's things
and
like those that really make
Yes.
everything worth it.
Right. So I think that from there on, I want to talk about how being soft is a luxury, but it is so misunderstood in a certain sense. Like soft na, it doesn't mean entirely soft. You are soft. Like it's like if you're soft, you're not supposed to be strong. If
But I
you're-
think being strong, being soft is the strength in itself.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, the one person whom I look up to being soft is you, because you've always stayed soft and still held your ground and with your opinions, and you've come you are this person. You're the only until recently you were the only woman in your office, and to
For most of my life, I've been in male-dominated rooms.
Yeah, so
That's
exactly.
like
So
a
how
killer
does
rolling
softness
down my
and strength make space? Isn't that a
I think
luxury
they go
too?
hand in hand.
Isn't
of
that
course, it is
yeah.
a luxury. I think they definitely go hand in hand. And not just at work, even in life, generally, it's not that life has always been like going my way. But I have never felt the need to become somebody that I'm not. I think
Yeah,
every
so I want you
hardship
to
has-
tell our listeners or people who are watching this how I'm sure there are women who are there in male dominant,
male dominated.
the male dominated
Male
setups.
dominant is right.
Okay, yeah, I mean, thanks for correcting
Setups.
me. Setups and like, what would you want to say? Because you have worked in really strenuous, pressurizing setup, being the only woman, and how has that
Thank
made
God I've been a woman in those rooms.
Yeah,
because-
so I want you to tell our listeners
Yeah.
what takeaway, what can they take from listening to you for the next 1 or 2 minutes? Like, I want you to resonate with them. Like, I'm sure that's one of the reasons we have this podcast. So tell me a little about how you can be soft and you can be strong and make space for being soft and still being the boss and walking into a room full of men.
Yeah, I think being a woman itself comes with a certain kind of softness. There is a lot of femininity that you bring knowingly or unknowingly, and no matter
Yeah.
how strong you might, say, yeah, I'm so strong, I'm so boisterous. There's
Yeah.
no such thing. Because I feel like being soft is not being, quiet or being submissive. It is actually being calm. It's actually being in control.
Of course,
And
calm
it's
is
actually
control.
being, centered, and it's being in a position to say, hey, yeah, this is what I'm seeing, but this is how I choose to react. And I think that is something that we women have as a quality innately, And even on days when, even on hard days, even on bad days, I think it's the power of just, perceiving, letting something happen to you and not being hardened by it, not letting that change you as a person. And not waking up tomorrow hating the world a little more, but
Yeah.
instead loving yourself more.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's where it changes.
Of course.
That is the shift that has to happen. That is the shift that happens when you are a soft person, because
Of course.
you really you just realize that it's a blessing that you have the ability to react. You have the ability to become this person through whatever you go through.
Of course.
And I think that is what has always been. And I don't think I've ever tried to be that person. It has just been a characteristic of mine.
Yeah.
But over the years, when I've reflected a lot more and when I've sat with my own thoughts and feelings a lot more, I've realized that my true power is being this soft, calm person. And it's not the
course.
soft girl era that has become so fashionable.
Yeah, you've just been made that way.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just that I've been made that way. And I think there's nothing else that empowers me more than my softness or
Yeah.
my calm or my, just being this person who you probably, it's like this, right? You see you go to a beach and in the distance you see this whole ocean that looks really calm and you feel like it's just endless blue. But then it's not just calm, right? There are cyclones, there are tsunamis, there's so much current that goes on beneath. Right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the strength comes from the depth.
Of course.
And that defines a woman best, I feel.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like when you are...
and that's what I saw in you
Yeah.
during your TED speech too.
Yeah. That's
you
something
know?
that I am learning from you. That is something that I am actually channelizing to be more calm this year. In 2026, I want to be more calm.
Yeah.
I think I get to be that calm only when all hell breaks loose. And when everybody thinks all is lost, I center myself and that's my superpower, but I'm trying to channelize that superpower on an everyday basis. I am so happy where I am because today I get to do this with you.
Right.
Today I am a TEDx speaker. Today I'm teaching my boys how to be. Today I'm inspiring my husband to look forward to something. I am glad I know about taxes, girl. So
Yeah.
that's a win for me. That's a serious win for me. I don't think I'll ever get tired of saying that because it was a big win for me. So that is one pressure that we deal with. What else, Rev? I also think...
I think, just the fact that there's pressure in every way. There is a problem everywhere. And back then also there were problems. I'm not saying, being a woman in today's world is a luxury because there are so many problems and we're conquering them. But it's the fact that we find the courage to do that.
100%.
It's the fact that we choose to do that. It's the fact that we say, hey, we deserve a better life and we deserve better for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we are making those choices. I think
Yeah.
that is what makes us overcome that pressure. There's
Of
pressure
course.
in every sense of the word, in every sphere that we might step into. But today we are courageous enough to make that choice for ourselves and decide things for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think, that is something that's really phenomenal.
Yeah.
And that again, I think,
It's a
how do
privilege
you-
and a
it is.
responsibility.
Exactly. It is a privilege
Yeah.
and a responsibility because
Yeah.
it's not that you can just say being a woman is such a luxury and it's all amazing. But
Yeah.
being a woman comes
It's
with a
a-
whole lot of responsibility.
Great
right?
power comes.
Great responsibility.
That's
exactly. So I think I'm pretty sure that's where that was definitely like a pillar for your TEDx talk too.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you really, like you said,
Yeah.
you did that and you found some meaning in doing that because you were making things easier for, you were showing and telling so many other girls that,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure maybe life is
Believe
hard
in
for you.
yourself. Create.
Exactly.
Believe in your magic and believe in your miracle, right? Like that's what
Exactly.
I wanted to tell. I wanted the generations that come after me to start from a place higher than where we started.
Exactly.
Because our mom did create that stage for us.
Exactly.
And not everybody has this privilege, Dave. I think we should acknowledge that we have
It's very important to acknowledge
urban
that.
privileges there.
Yeah.
We live in a city, but in spite of living
And
in a
we live
city,
in
we
one
get
of the safest cities.
oh
right?
yes, definitely, definitely.
So things are a lot easier for us, for sure.
yeah.
But it might not be the same way. I really don't want to sound like a prick and say, hey, being a woman is a luxury, because there are so many women who do not probably
Yeah.
feel that way.
Yeah.
And I agree and I understand that it is not that way. But today, there are some of us who say being a woman is such a luxury.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with the awareness that we have it good in
Yeah.
a way or the other, in some
Of
way or the other.
course,
And
of
it is our
course.
responsibility to make it easier for some other girl, some other woman out there.
Yeah, yeah.
In whatever way possible. I don't know why. Maybe, there's this memory that never, gets old, that never
Yeah.
fades. When I was in college, we were required to watch this documentary on discrimination, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although the topic was discrimination on a very general
Yeah.
meaning of the word,
Mhm.
by the end of the documentary, I just realized that the discrimination was only to women, right? The whole point and the whole
And where
crux
was
and
this
heart-
documentary set up in? In an urban
in my-
setup or in a...
No, it was in the rural areas,
Exactly.
of course. Exactly, yeah. So it was in the rural
So that's
areas,
where you're
down
going with
south.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So in the down south, how, it was a sensitive topic, of course,
Yeah,
that I cannot
yeah.
talk about because God knows how that might make people feel.
Mm-hmm,
But the documentary ended with me feeling that it was not about the topic that it started off
Yeah,
with, but about
yeah.
how women are treated differently. And women are the ones that are shown discrimination. And I felt so, I felt like that was so unfair, because here
Yeah.
I was sitting in an urban place in college at like 6 o'clock, and I could drive back home at 6:30
Yeah.
and be absolutely okay, feel
6:30,
absolutely
come back
safe.
home at 10:30 and or something.
Yeah,
We still
100%.
do,
Like
yeah.
college gets over at 6:30.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
So, I mean, these days, see, that's a whole different
The
topic.
yeah.
But then, me as a girl in a city can drive back home whenever and feel safe and not
Yeah.
wonder if I'm going to be okay or not. But then there is another woman in some other part of the world in the same state who is just scared and who is worried about reaching home before 6 o'clock.
Of course, yeah.
Worried about reaching home before the sun goes down. And I felt like that was such an unfair reality that we live in. It is an unfair reality
Of
we
course,
live in.
yeah.
And maybe
yeah.
that thought is what stemmed me to be very involved in social service or community
course,
service.
yeah.
And
You
I
do
feel
such a
so
huge-
happy
you
to
contribute
be
a
part
lot,
of this
yeah.
education, which is founded by two strong
Yeah,
women.
yeah.
And although we the aim of this education, Asuka Education Salvage Kavya and Sanjana, is education itself.
Yeah, yeah.
We all feel really happy and proud that through education we're able to meet so many other young girls.
Of course, there's
And
nothing
tell
like
them.
impacting lives.
Exactly, and tell them that there are different ways to live your
Yeah.
life. You can dream big. You can go to so many places, and you can really set the bar high for yourself.
Yeah.
You are more than the situation that you were born into.
Yeah.
You are more than your circumstances, and you can beat the odds
Yeah.
and be somebody that you probably look at in the
Yeah.
newspaper or in the TVs. You can make it to the news for all good reasons.
Of course, of course.
And that feels really nice to be this woman who is not just walking a really well-paved road,
Yeah.
but also showing
Showing
the
them,
way to
yeah.
someone else and leading the way to someone else, and not leading, but walking with them.
Yeah.
I think that is the real power of being a woman in
Today's world. Exactly. 100%. I think that's the most beautiful thing that I've actually heard. It was not like the path was never there. It was
Yeah.
paved for us
Yeah.
long ago. But no matter how many people come to like cover it up, there are generations that are structurally changing that conversation for us, the narrative for us, like sweeping away the dust and
100%.
leveling it up for us. And I think that's what we are doing right now. We are leveling it up as the structure around us is also growing,
Yeah.
changing, evolving.
So we had this amazing story that went up yesterday where we had asked you what is the one luxury you feel as a woman in today's times and what's the one pressure that comes with it. And we got some phenomenal responses. So many responses, and I don't know how I'm going to pick.
Pick 5. Go on.
So the first one was the 5 minutes of silence and chaos and watching one full movie without a break feels like luxury in womanhood, especially when you are a mother. You would
Somebody
know.
has spoken my mind out. Wow, who is this amazing person speaking, spilling pearls?
Jeevita.
Oh, somebody. Oh, of course, that's what it is.
It is a true luxury.
It's giving billionaire behavior.
Yeah, it is. The luxuries are unique perspective and emotional intelligence, the ability to lead with empathy, and the pressure is having to be twice as good to get half the credit, all while being likable enough not to be labeled difficult. Oh my God, this is so true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true, right?
Yeah.
I
You
think-
don't need to be liked. You just need to be respected. So be all that difficult that you
Yeah,
are.
I
And
mean-
if it's difficult for somebody else, let them up their game to deal with you. Like let them develop some
If they
human
call you
skills.
difficult, let them
Yeah.
just use a dictionary because
Yeah.
first of all,
Good.
no,
Good one.
you're not being difficult.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah. Being able to just feel deeply and love fully feels like a luxury in a world that rewards hardness. Oh, yeah, but this is
yeah.
something that we also spoke about in our earlier episode, which is,
Yeah.
make an effort.
No,
right?
but also
Make an
you
effort.
have the choice to choose. It's no more about
Yeah.
feeling deeply. You have the choice to leave or stay, or you have the choice to evolve. So don't change.
Yeah.
Feel deeply, love deeply. Make the choice that makes you happy.
Right,
Like
for
it's
sure.
okay. We are allowed to have boundaries. That's another luxury we have. Before this, we were asked to endure, asked to adjust. But now we have emotional intelligence and an emotional vocabulary and awareness for it. We have boundaries. This is amazing. You are doing great.
Yeah. Okay, last two. Honestly, the maintenance part of being a woman. Spas are a luxury and there's pressure for upkeep. 100%. It's so crazy how men are more attractive when they have more hair and women are not so attractive if they don't do waxing and we have to do threading and upper lip and what?
Right?
Why?
I hate it when a guy tells me.
Why?
I hate it. I just hate it.
But
The
you know, I do it
upkeep
for
of all,
myself.
But I owe it to you. Yes,
I do it for
yeah.
myself, honestly. I don't do it for the men. I don't do it for the world. I do it for myself because I feel
I
so
know.
pretty.
So don't make a comment at my appearance. If
Yeah.
I'm looking good, I'm looking good for myself. If I'm looking shabby and hopeless,
Yeah.
again, I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah, the
'Cause I'm
pressure,
aligning
it
with
is
my
pressure,
emotions.
I agree. But then when you do it for yourself, it feels like, it feels
The
like a
person
luxury.
in the mirror.
It feels like a luxury. Yeah, it feels, the pressure becomes a luxury when you
Yeah.
really do it for yourself. It's
Self,
all
yeah.
about who are you doing it for? I think,
For yourself.
yeah,
Only for yourself.
only for yourself.
Yeah, not for anyone else.
Last
For my boss.
one. Oh, I know this person. She volunteered with our NGO, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Last
think it's,
one, I can
yeah,
wrap
but
it
this
up.
she's written essays. Okay, I'm going to reply to all of these personally, but let me just pick one of the
Yeah.
messages, right? And in love specifically, I think a niche luxury of being a woman today is that we get to experience softness without surrendering power. Yes. We can be in love and still have boundaries. We can
Definitely.
crave romance and still have standards. We can want intensity without losing our identity. We're also allowed range. We can be hyper feminine one day, detached the next. We can be the lover and the one who walks away. That duality is power. Wow.
Wow.
100%.
That's the luxury of being a woman in today's time.
I think that sums up
That
being
was
a woman.
Yeah, that was a
Really.
beautiful way to wrap up
Yeah.
today's episode. And we're so grateful
Yeah.
that you're here. We're so grateful for this community. Like, share, subscribe.
Subscribe for sure. Leave comments. Tell us what you liked about this. Tell us how, what you think about womanhood and tell us what makes you unstoppable. And I think this releases right in time for Women's Day, doesn't it?
Exactly.
So happy Women's Day.
Happy Women's Day, guys.
I think every day is Women's Day, but like you are phenomenal exactly the way you are. And we're so glad to be one of y'all. So
Thank you for
tuning in.
tuning in.
Yeah.
Great.